Good evening here to people in South Africa, across Europe, and it's probably like good afternoonish by now in the States. I don't know. It's 7 o'clock at night here. So I'm going to speak more about focus tonight. And tonight's subject is, if you know how to focus, you know how to win. If you know how to focus, you know how to win. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 25 says, "Let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you." Let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you. Things in your peripheral, the peripheral is the edges of your vision. Those things over there can often become the difference between a car accident and survival. If you're on a highway and your focus are things in your peripheral vision, you take note of those things, but you don't focus on them. You take a note of things in your peripheral and they let you know, they contribute towards the information required to make decisions. But the moment something in your peripheral vision becomes your focus, you've lost the game. If you know how to focus, you know how to win. There's going to be a lot of things tugging at your attention, a lot of things to the left and the right. A lot of things that seem like the right way, that seem like a good idea. But if you've got a plan, if you've got a ministry, a business, if you've got a plan for your family, whatever, you've got to stick to that plan. If you've got a covenant, stick to it. Probably 20 times this afternoon I wanted to say, okay, no. You know how easy it is just to send a message to my PA to say, no wisdom sessions for the rest of the week. I'm not in the right mental space. But you see, like, the things that affect my mental space are in the peripheral. The vision itself must be my full focus. I must look forward. Don't look left, don't look right, look forward. There's a reason that Lot's wife was told not to look back, because if you look backwards, you're stuck. Your body's facing forward, your head's facing backwards. You can't go backwards and you can't go forwards. There's no time travel. You can't go back to yesterday. Most of the people that you've offended, even when you're going to apologize to them, they still hurt by you. Those relationships are very, very hard to patch up. So the only thing you can do is show people that you've changed. You can show that you've repented by the fruit in your life. That's why no matter what the strategy is, forward is always the best application, best application tool. It's the best paintbrush. Forward is always an excellent strategy, because if you know how to focus, you know how to win. Most people give up just before they hit gold. They give up just before they hit diamond. They give up just before the breakthrough. Sometimes you give up and it was just another year or so. Sometimes you give up and it was another day or so. And when your focus is split, that's why I tell people in business, if you've got a weekend business, don't bother looking at ministry. Serve in a ministry, but don't bother trying to lead one, because something's going to suffer. That's why Jesus specifically was referring to mammon, but it applies to everything in measure. He says, you're going to hate one master and you're going to love the other. So there's times where you're going to love ministry and you're going to hate your business, and times when you're going to love your ministry love your business and hate your ministry. There's times when you're going to hate your family and love your business, and times when you're going to hate your business and love your family. But by the time it matters, to you, one of those things has suffered. So Jesus says it's so important to count the cost. Count the cost. And then plan it out. Put your plan together and build your house. Build your business, build your ministry. If you've said in your mind, okay, look, I've done my research, I've sat at the feet of mentors. And there's another important question, is don't follow mentors if you're not going to trust them. Don't call people in your life mentors and coaches if you're not going to follow instructions, because you are wasting your time. It's a parable of a young man that goes to sit with an old man. The old man's retired. He's been successful. He's succeeded. He's achieved everything in life, and now he's sitting catching fish. And the young man comes and says, man, I'd like to learn from you. How do you get to a place where you can just sit and catch fish all day? And the old man says, you buy a fishing stick and you sit by the water all day. He says, yeah, but didn't you first achieve all your success? And he says, you didn't ask me how I achieved success. You asked me how you get to a place where you sit and catch fish all day. So if you want to sit and catch fish all day, follow the instructions I gave you. If you want to be successful, ask me a different question. And so the young man thought for a bit, says, okay, maybe I want to catch fish later on in my life. How do I rise to the level of power that you did? He says, well, then you're going to have to be who I used to be. And the young man says, well, who did you used to be? He says, I used to be hungry and driven and ruthless and focused. Are you willing to be those things? And the young man says, absolutely. So the guy says, well, I'm going to have to teach you how to become those things. Are you willing to listen? The young man says, absolutely. He says, okay. There's a bunch of fish in that bucket there. Clean the scales off for me and take the guts out. And the young man says, I'm sorry, I didn't come here to learn about taking scales off fish and taking guts out. I thought you were going to teach me what to do. And the old man says, and that's why you'll never succeed. Because you think everything's free. The fish scales and the guts weren't for you. That was for me. But you aren't even willing to do that for me. So you'll get nothing from me. You see, when you are so focused on everything in the peripheral that you cannot see what's directly in front of you, when you're so focused on the things to the left and the right, when you can't realize what's in front of you, the key to your success is always informational. It's always information. Information is gold, because information is the instruction that produces the success in your life. And if you cannot honor and listen to people who give you instruction, don't bother. Rather go and you can hang that dream up on a coat hanger. I watched it's called a biopic. Anyway, it's about ice skating. This lady was a world champion ice skater. And her mom took her quite far, and then after that, she needed a coach. So the coach said to her, listen, your mom had enough knowledge to teach you how to get to provincial or state level. It was an American thing. But if you want to get to national level and international level, you're going to have to unlearn. I need to unteach you everything that your mother taught you. And the mom was so offended and angry, and the coach said to her, you did great up until now. She learned what she needed to do this, but if you're serious about her going forward, she needs a new coach. And she's going to have to do drills and exercises that specifically help her know nothing. She'll end up just being able to skate, have no confidence in her skating at all, so that she can learn new habits. And that lady, I can't remember who it was, maybe someone knows the story, but that lady, the skater, had to tell her mom, our dream is that I win the Olympics. We've got to listen to this guy. Because you've never won the Olympics. You've never won anything national. You could take me as far as state, but you've never done anything at that level. Just support me in this. Let's trust the guy together. The mom was offended and just left her for a few years, but she trained with that guy and did everything that he said. And this, a movie's always got, the Save the Cat formula. It's always like the rise and then the little bit of a fall in the movie there. And at that fall point, at that fall point in the movie, it's what happens to everyone. It's, that skater, that lady just thought she couldn't do it anymore. She thought she can't do it anymore. She's sad. She wants to have a boyfriend. She wants to have a normal life. There's no time for anything, no time for boyfriends, no time for going out with her friends. When all the other ladies on the skating team are going out to eat for pizza and everything, her coach says, no, go and do your drills. She's there like 3-4 hours on the ice, and then she has to go for physio and this and that and special diet, and then at that night she has to keep unlearning stuff and learn new habits. And she really wants to give up, but again the mentor says, just do what I say, and you will win. You'll win the national whatever ice skating championships. And that's America. America's huge, man. It's like all the states of Africa, all the countries in Africa having like a African championship for one person to win. Anyway, in the movie she obviously wins, but I see so many movies and so many books, so many testimonies about what it takes to win, what it takes to succeed. It takes incredible focus. You want your marriage to work, it takes incredible focus. You want your business to flourish, incredible focus. And you're going to have to get up from failure over and over and over and over. But when your mind is elsewhere, when you've got 20 focuses, when you're focused on this and you're focused on that and you're looking over there and you're looking over there and you have not prioritized the battle that you want to win. If you haven't prioritized sitting in the front of that wagon, you can't win, because you're in a world that is designed, like, remember, the God of this world, the God of this present darkness designs everything to distract you from achieving your destiny. Because the fact is, if you achieve your destiny, you have a voice, and if you have a voice, you can change the world. If you achieve your destiny, you have resources. If you have resources, you can change the world. Do you think the masters of this present darkness want you to succeed and change the world? They'll do everything in their power to pull you this way and that way. So I'm vehemently against people having split focus between the kingdom and things like politics and denominationalism. You must be so focused that people call you unreasonable. That people say that your life lacks balance. It's like those of us who come here every day. They say, you need balance in your life. You've got to prioritize your family. You know how happy your family becomes when you're happy. Eh? Yes, you need a life outside of your work. Do you know how much fun my work is? My kids are with me all the time. My people are with me all the time. Often what they're saying is, you need to make time for me. And then you say, well, jump in and do what I'm doing. Be where I am. And then they're like, no, I disagree with what you're doing. That's great, man, but you're peripheral. You're asking me to lay down my passion for yours. I don't ask you to lay down your passion for me. What are you doing? You know? So often people, they mean well, but they bring hell. South Africa rugby is quite a thing, it's a big thing in South Africa, rugby. And I got quite a few friends who somehow God always has me friends with professional players and stuff, and I check those guys' focus. I watch how, and this is what's strange, like in South Africa, rugby is taken so seriously by families, especially like the Afrikaans families, that if your son is going to become a professional rugby player, even if there's a small chance that he succeeds, that family gets behind that son, man. And when he gets a girlfriend, the girlfriend doesn't even worry about her own career, man. She follows that guy. Then her family backs it, like go for it. No one asks for balance there, because they know that the price of succeeding there is that guy must be absolutely focused. I had a friend who was a boxer. He wasn't a close friend, but close enough. He was a boxer, a professional boxer. And he was sharing this cool stuff on Facebook all the time. I think he was a South African champ. I didn't quite follow the boxing, but I followed him because I was so inspired the whole time with this young guy. And he always quoted his coach. And the coach said, pay now, play later. Play now, pay later. Have you heard that expression before? Pay now, play later. Play now, pay later. And playing around isn't just, sleeping in and that kind of thing. Playing around is having the wrong coaches, the wrong mentors, giving your loyalty to the wrong places. I don't demand loyalty from anybody, but I'm always impressed when people give it, because I know that person gets it, There's something in that spirit that's going click. They figured out how to give loyalty. I give immense loyalty to teachers. Immense. I give a lot more than loyalty. Once I've realized that someone has information that can shape and change my world. It's like a new teacher has entered my life, Rabbi Daniel Lipkins. Not even born again, he's a Jewish dude. But boy, I tell you, the wisdom that flows from that guy. He's written a book called the 10 what's the book called? 10 Commandments of Wealth, something like that. So I don't really care about the wealth side of it, but man, do I like the teachings that flows from that guy, like an understanding. Because I actually saw on YouTube, it was like someone else was doing an interview with him, and the interview was why Jews are so successful. How's that for a nice stereotype, eh? It's like, you Jews are so blessed. That's a nice thing to have people gossip about you, eh? Anyway, and I was sitting there, and then I was like, this guy is now a mentor. So after a while, I'm probably going to reach out and see if I can connect with him. I'm sure millions of people do, but I always get to chat to my mentors. So if you can value the flow of information and make it part of your focus, don't hang out with people who discourage you from your focus. That's career suicide. That's ministry suicide. I love sharing stories. I've had such a wonderful, crazy, adventurous life, and as you know, in these wisdom sessions, I love sharing stories of some of the people I've served. And one particular pastor, I remember we were all sitting around a restaurant. We'd all gone biking, and then all our bikes were parked out there. It was so cool, all the super bikes are parked. I remember just feeling, this is cool. we're sitting there, and one of the guys around the table who's part of kind of that, biking group, is not quite part of the ministry away team, but every now and then he would bike with us as a business guy. He said, yes, it'd be lekker if we expand this group and invite others in and maybe start like a bike gang or that kind of thing. And the pastor said, and he's a very straight guy, this pastor. He says, no. I don't want people speaking nonsense in my ears. And because that pastor, when he plants a church, he'll usually build between a 3,500 and 5,000 seater, and then it's a satellite church. He preaches from his one church, or he preaches from there, and then it gets beamed all over. He just builds his campuses. Massive. He's very successful, very influential. Like specializes in winning over Afrikaners out of churchianity culture into a new churchianity culture, but from a very traditional racist thing. And he's very good at like changing Afrikaans people's minds. Exceptional, because he's got that generaal vibe about him, So God uses him to crack that nut. But when you hang out with him, don't be negative. Don't talk about anything that might discourage him from his task at hand. So myself and a friend or two over there, we said, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to read whatever he's reading, and then we're going to chat about those books, and we're going to chat about other stuff that we read and other stuff that we've seen, and just give him as much ammunition as possible. And it's not like a long conversations, you're sitting there drinking coffee at a restaurant and joking and laughing, and then, have you read this part in that book? And yeah, and get all excited. Because that people of power and success, if you want them to give you, one bit of advice, be around them for a lot of time, spend a lot of time. One word in season, not even a prophetic word, just one word, one line in season can shift your life. If you can listen and you can learn and you can focus, you can win. Wisdom is the principal thing, and all you're getting, get understanding. I never thought I'd turn out to be the man that I am today. I never thought that. I thought I would burn with ambition and I'd continue doing big crusades and stuff. And I never thought I'd get to a place like this where all I care about is prayer. Never ever thought that. And I realized that though that stuff was necessary to get the bear out of me, that ambitious, crazy part of me needed to die. Excuse me. Otherwise, this vision wouldn't be possible. Because it's a vision that must be built on prayer. But I realized after a while that because of my personality, somehow I projected onto myself and others projected onto me the way that they thought I should be. No, thank you, Mr. The way that they thought I should be, and I had a way that I thought I should be. Until I realized what God needed from me and who God needed me to be. And the funny thing is, when I became this person, how many said, "Are you sure? Are you sure this is? Are you sure that you're doing the right thing? Are you sure?" And I suddenly realized that who I was and who I've become are such different people and have such different friends that we're literally different people and we cannot have the same friends anymore. We can't have the same relationships with our families anymore. We can't have we're different people. I'm literally born again. And for the past 6.5 years, I have focused with intensity on the instruction that God gave me. Uncompromised intensity. And the result is that not only are the results incredible, the ministry results are sheesh. A businessman was chatting to me, said, how you guys doing? Because he wanted to put some money into a project or two, and he said, well, how are you guys doing? And I said, I've never even been part of a ministry that has been able to do this before. I've never seen this. Not this fast. Not this quickly. The fruit of focus is incredible. But that is not even the big thing. The big thing is that I'm at peace. I'm finally at peace. It's finally when someone dies, they say, well, I'm so glad they're finally at peace. It's literally like I died. I do have tough days like everybody else, but some days I feel like compared to the old life I was living, that I've gone to heaven, or I've gone to a version of heaven, or something's changed. Like I've shifted in the multiverse into somebody else's body. It feels like I was living this frustrating, exhausting, failing over and over life. I was squeezed into a body that was depressed and dying. My soul was dying. Everything about me was death. And just focusing on this new adventure, I was in a ministry with almost 20,000 members, and we feed more people in a week than they used to in a year. Yeah. And while I was in that ministry, everything was stressful and angry and last minute and changes, and everything just changed, and then it changed again, and then it was so hard you couldn't make anybody happy. There's always just conflict and fighting, and and now with 12 times the results, there's peace. And I'm telling you, the key is focus. Don't compromise your focus. Don't look to the left or to the right. Amen, Greg. None left hungry. Not a single one. If we can feed them, we can lead them. If you feed them, they'll let you lead them. See, there's some comments. That's awesome, yeah. Man, I can't wait to be able to see everybody on YouTube's comments as well. I'm working on it. I think it's actually as simple as just getting internet onto the iPad. I don't know, just all the passwords keep getting changed on me. But okay, so, excuse me. If you're double-minded, you're going to be unstable in everything. If you're double-minded, you're going to be unstable in everything. You've got to choose a battleground, a person, a place, and a people, and then lock it in there. Lock it in, and you decide how long you're going to lock it in for, and push it for as long as you can, as hard as you can, as crazy as you can. Lock it in. Like really, like knuckle down and lock it in and just focus. And just focus on that. I see people come and go in ministry over the years. This one, other ministries I've been in. I see them come and go. I see the excuses people use, all the same excuses. Everyone thinks that the thing they're going through is worse than what somebody else is going through. Everything is terrible. All of the pain you experience is real and horrid, But why weaponize it against your destiny? I've shared before. Home cell was shocked, 19 years old, I think. My mom passed away, 18 or 19. I was at my home cell, leading my home cell that same night. Been sick where I think I'm going to die, and then I climb on that stage and I minister. I do not weaponize my pain against my destiny. I don't weaponize my pain against my assignment. I don't know why people do it. I always look at when people do, when they say, I'm sorry, I'd love to help, man, but we got a flat wheel. I've had a lot of flat wheels. I walked or I hitchhiked or I fixed a puncture or whatever the heck I had to do. Car got stuck with fuel many times in my youth. Many, many times. I put the key on top of the wheel and hitchhike and just ask a friend, hey, don't you want to just get my car? Throw a liter of petrol in there. The difference between winners and losers. I'm not a loser in the derogatory term. I'm just talking about someone who didn't win, when you didn't achieve what you were going for. Is focus. You say, what about genetics? What about opportunities? What about luck? Those are all things that people weaponize against their dreams. What about bad luck? Why are you weaponizing your bad luck against your dream? Everything that is not victory is a teacher. Everything that is not success is a mentor. Every time you lose, you learn. You get up from devastating financial failure, devastating sickness, devastating humiliation, whatever it is. You get up and you try again. You get up and you try again. But if your focus shifts and you say, maybe that's not for me. Excuse me. Then you bury all possibilities of victory. If you're gonna shift your focus, don't do it because you gave up. Do it because it was a strategic shift. Or maybe you put something on the shelf and you said, maybe I'll come back to that, but my passion has changed. My strategy has changed. And you give the new thing focus. Commit to it. Don't weaponize your excuses against your destiny. Don't weaponize your misfortune and your failures. What do you think? Have you seen what a ballerina's feet and ankles look like? They're so pretty there, and you're like, you check how many places those ankles are broken and the feet and the toes are broken, and like her arms healing from a bad fall, and they've got makeup on over all the plasters and stuff that are basically holding the wrist together, and you think, why would they go through all of that? Because it's their passion, it's their assignment, their destiny. They'll do anything for it. See these big rugby players go thundering onto the field, and you just see like they're held together by plaster and bandages. And then that guy's still player of the match, Why? So they don't weaponize their pain against their destiny. If you want to fail, do that. say, "Oh, I'm just feeling a little under the weather." And then you say, "Well, I won't be going to do whatever." Just this morning, I chatted to someone. He's been very, very ill for 5 days. He's feeling a little bit better, but he doesn't sound better. But he says, "Sure, I've been out of gym for 5 days. I'm going this morning. I'm going to go right now. Just go and do a light session." I'm thinking, because he's really focused on looking a particular way. And I'm like, "Excellent, man, go." I'm always impressed by people who are so disciplined and focused. Us dad bod guys can blame it on genetics, but say, "No, like the dad bod runs in my family." You know what the reply to that is? By the look of you, nobody runs in your family. See, unfortunately for me now, I've got this disciplined wife who's now going to gym and stuff, so I'm like, now I've got to get into shape. So I'm working on getting myself a bicycle so I can vupa vapa around the prayer path. Tanya's like, "Yeah, we're going to come and ride with you. You better keep up, Tanya." You'll see, I'll be in front of you, and then I'll be behind you, then I'll be next to you, and then I'll be in front of you again, then I'll be behind you, then I'll be next to you. Aren't we just having a nice ride? This is nice. It's like when people are in a marriage and they want it to work, both of them want it to work. No one's cheated on each other. They're just, struggling. They've got them irreconcilable differences. People in marriage like that, and they come. So this isn't now people who've decided, because sometimes it is like that, where the other person is just too much, and then you just decide, okay, this isn't going to work. But when people are in marriages and they're just like fighting all the time, and they come for counseling, and then I look at them, and I have that little smile on my face. Well, luckily I don't do marriage counseling anymore. That's Coach calling them now. But I've got a little smile on my face because I look at them kind of like a shark looks at a tuna. Because I know I'm going to take some bites out of that marriage to help them get right. Because usually it's a focus issue. It's like, So Jeremiah, if you come to say, "I need my my marriage to work," and the moment you say, "but my wife," then I laugh. And if the wife comes and, "I want this marriage to work, but my husband," then I go, I look at you like a shark looks at a tuna. Like a bird looks at a worm. Breakfast. Why? Because there's no but my nothing. It's all your problem. If you want to work, it doesn't matter how wicked the other person is. Your focus is what changes the game, and your focus has to be years. Years. Yes. So it comes, it says, the church is empty. My church is empty. How are you guys at Overcomers? You got, if we have a staff meeting, we got more people in than most churches in the region. And then, how do you guys do it? And I say, are you asking me what you should do to achieve this? Or are you asking me just how we do it? Would you like a revival in your church? Yeah, what must I do? Then I'll say, okay, do this and 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 this, and don't do anything else, and just do that for 3 years. And then they never visit me again. They all have that same look in their face. You know how easy it is to fill a hole. Just create popcorn. If I tell the band, okay, right, 6 o'clock every night we're going to do Bethel, Elevation, Hillsong, put up big screens over here, hire in some ridiculously good. Have you seen how the praise and worship leaders are always like these ridiculously good looking people? So hire some ridiculously good looking singers. And just like what Mavis says with cleavage. I haven't seen that. Thank God. But they always, I mean, it's the men and the women stand up there and they all look like they eat well and they gym well. And then you just, we do the car park thing. It looks awesome. Do lekker marketing. We're going to do it. I'm keen for that. And then you just go for it. But everybody's going to come for the program. Very few are going to actually want discipleship. But sometimes popcorn is fun. But if any church wants that, I can tell you exactly how to make popcorn. What do you need to make popcorn? Butter, a bag of corn to pop, and a microwave. That's it, eh? And then a little sprinkles. Eh? Eh? A pot, yeah, or a pot. Yeah. You can just put it on a pot over there. And for those of us who have done it many times, who've filled churches, we can tell you exactly how to do it. And then people come, could you tell me how to do that, please? Then you tell them how. And then you just check that look in their face. It's like white noise. You mean I actually have to work? Yes, it requires focus. You want your business. So one or two youngsters, lately it's awesome, ask me for, I've got this business idea, I'd like it to work. I say, okay, I'm going to speak to some people who've succeeded in business and then I'll get back to you on what they say you must do. And then I'll listen to them and then I chat to some folks that are in business. And they're very open-minded. They don't destroy people's ideas and they give me good counsel. And then I get back to those people. Often it's like, I don't know if I agree with that. The guy who just told me what you must do is a multi-millionaire. And you're saying you don't know if you agree with it. Your car's exhaust pipe's dragging on the ground, my man. I wouldn't take advice from you on, I was going to say something funny, but you can make something up. You could tell me how to brush my hair, and I won't take advice from anybody who tells me to brush my hair, because this isn't hair that you brush. If you run a brush through my hair, it just frizzes right out. You have to run your fingers through hair like this, and you have to put product in it, you see? But often a lack of focus is going to equate to lack of discipline and lack of listening. You got me? I don't know. I've been talking for 40 minutes. So cool that there's a clock at the back now. Glory. See, I can actually see what time it is. Now I'll bust you guys whenever you look backwards. What? He's talking long. There's something that I do when I minister as the first person to look at their watch, and then I end immediately. No one here looked at their watch, but it's something that I do. It's because I go, okay, the atmosphere is about to change. Because the first person in the room who's not receptive to wisdom will affect the entire atmosphere for everyone else. So I prefer to have small crowds. Don't know if you felt it before. You're sitting there enjoying a sermon and suddenly you feel a shift in the atmosphere. You suddenly get tired. That's because that first bunch of people have started shifting the atmosphere to, okay, kom nou klaar. Come. Finish now. I've had enough now. So then you just end it. Now I've got a clock of my own at the back. Anyway, well, thank you all for listening. I'm hoping everyone gets something out of these sessions. I deleted this afternoon session because I think it was a bit rough, and did a friendlier version now. No, good. I'm glad you didn't get to listen to it. It was the same message as this. But this afternoon's one was rough. Was it good? Yes. No, this afternoon was rough. Yes. I came out here with 10 minutes of sleep, angry because I'd been woken up because the neighbor was angry. The music was so loud. So I came out there I came and I ministered from a position of anger. Yeah, so I thought, let me come and do a friendlier version tonight. Renee so funny, she says, are you taking instruction from the clock now? No, I was kind of finished talking. I didn't know what else to say. And then I noticed, there's a clock at the back. Look at it. Sometimes I'm like talking. And then I say, what time is it? 5 minutes. I've been speaking for 55 minutes. Feels like I'm just getting my intro. So preaching away. Well, that's what most people hear when you talk anyway. Oh, funny. Renee, glad I missed it. Yeah, me too. Val says it was brilliant. I would have loved to hear it again. No worries. Val. No, yo. The Holy Spirit gave me a good beating when I left there. That's why I was wrestling the whole time. I was like, well, Holy Spirit, you minister to the people then. Here's why it is hard, or rather why it's so important to have focus. When you work with people, man, you're going to get disappointed and frustrated and angry, because you know how few people actually listen. Imagine you can help someone, you can change their life. All they have to do is just listen, pass some tests, and then you yourself have the power. Not, do you get what I'm saying? You know, you're looking at someone, so let's say Jeremiah wants to preach the world travel the world and preach, you know. Let's say his dream is to, I'm not saying that's Jeremiah's dream, I'm just saying, imagine he's got that in his heart. And then he comes and he says, that's his dream. And I say, oh, awesome. I know someone who can help him. That someone is me, you know. Now, you see, but I don't tell him that. I just say, okay, the person who can help you needs to see that you can be faithful. So you need to do this and this and this and this and this and this. Now, it's not like maybe Jeremiah will get helped. He will totally get helped. There's actual sponsors out there who ask me if you have any people who show promise in the area of business. We have entry-level managerial positions. Well, if you can groom and train the guys for us, send it. Then the starting salary, what's middle management, 25, 30K, Jared? Easily. 25, 30,000 Rand a month. Yeah. But you know, to survive in the corporate world is not easy. So then I see there's people, we got students and stuff. You know, for me to play someone like that, they need to be under my nose for like a year or 6 months. I need to see how faithful is that person, how Johnny on the spot, do they take instructions, can they work with a team, blah, 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 blah. And then I say, okay, right, I'm going to do 21 days. And for 21 days, you know who comes? The faithful people. The guys who don't have proper job, well, they've got entry-level jobs, minimum wage, struggling. They don't make any effort whatsoever. And like, I'm standing up here. I can say it after the 21 days. 21 days was also partly a test. I wanted to give a lot of people opportunities. I think out of 150, I could give one. I'm talking external opportunities, Mavis, don't panic. Yeah, no, you guys have got other things coming, relax. Yeah. One. Mr. Nassen's internal. You guys grow as I grow, you know. We grow together. But like, yeah, it's mad. Do you know, there was external job opportunities and ministry opportunities and stuff probably for 60 people. Life-changing stuff. That's why I don't tell people, because then they'll only come for that. Yes. Yeah, that one person's going to be very chuffed. It's crazy, you know. Do you know how many opportunities you miss out because you miss your focus? Yes. The best job I ever got, I'll tell you, the best job I ever got was because I was the only person. The CEO of the company organizes a motivational seminar thing. Now I've heard, but at that time already, I've been to so many blooming motivational seminars and church seminars, all that kind of thing. I heard them all. But in my mind, because it was like 2 weeks, you know, it was every single morning, and you had to come to work early because the boss said, no, not going to do this in work time. It's an opportunity for you guys. It'll be like, I think it was like 6 till 7:30 in the morning or something crazy. It means I've got to sit in traffic now to get to that thing. Yeah, so the first morning, all of the staff are there. Second morning, it's just me. Third morning, just me. Fourth morning, just me. Fifth morning, just me. And the only reason I went is because I thought, shame, you know, the CEO went to all of this effort. So I didn't even do it for me. I just did it for the CEO. It's like, I'm there with you, you know. You know, we ride together, we bride together. You know? and then I did just me. And the end of it, the CEO wanted to know, who was at all of them? Was anybody at all of them? And then, you know, I put up my hand like that. I said, can I see you afterwards, please? Yeah. And then what happened is the CEO had a plan to experiment to cut people's day to half day for the same salary, and to invest in departmental infrastructure. So I got the entire budget, and I only needed to work half days from then on out. I still worked full days, but I mean, I could come and go. Some days I'd just go and catch a movie. My contract changed, you know. See, I just wanted to see who would go. You know, there's something about solidarity. Do you guys know what solidarity is? It's how many prayer meetings I've been to just to show solidarity with the leader. Didn't want to pray, you know. I still struggle with corporate prayer meetings. I believe in them. I think they are so important. Acts chapter 2. But I've always struggled a bit because if we're going to pray, I want to pray, you know. I don't want to be hanging out with people who are looking at their phones and looking at the watch the whole time. If we're going to pray, let's knuckle down and look at the floor together and pray, yeah. You know, so how many times I've been to corporate prayer meetings just because the pastor because of that solidarity. See, when you're focused on your goal, you'll be focused on the sources of information and the sources of favor for your goal, because only the ignorant and the blind think that there's not somebody watching you with the power to change your life. I watch our HODs all the time. You know, there's sponsors ready for if a HOD, so let's say that HOD's got a vision, there are sponsors ready to bless that HOD with their own ministry and their own vision. But the criteria is quite difficult. I need to watch and see that people don't insult each other for at least a year. They don't offend people in power for at least a year. That they've got the ministries back for at least a year. And that year starts whenever someone fails again. Then I start them afresh and I watch. We've got the most amazing sponsors around the world. They will jump in and give help with projects. I check people's attitudes. What's the atmosphere? Sometimes I'll correct someone even though they don't deserve it, just to see their response. Promotion requires focus. Focus requires discipline. Discipline requires belief. You got to believe. And what are you willing to go through? Do you know that wherever you are around the world, there are people watching you who want to bless you, who want to help you, and they're just checking out your focus. How long can you do what you said you'd do? Mind blown? Our new kitchen was sponsored just because the sponsor was here for lunch, stuck his head in, liked Mavis. All that new stuff in the kitchen, liked the atmosphere. I told the sponsor about Tanya, making me all this cool stuff. And the sponsor says, yes, on our next phase, we must make sure she just has a kitchen for creative confectionery and whatever. I was like, I'm not going to say no to that. There's people watching you. They're watching you. Jared's got like 50 eyes on him because everybody around him thinks he's got this mega destiny. So everybody's watching him. No pressure, Jared. He's like, I'm cool, man. Yeah. It's like there's like so many eyes on Jared. Everyone's just watching him. It's like legacy, ministry, business. There's so many eyes. Everyone's just watching him. I'm watching how Jeremiah takes care of the vehicles. Mavis, have you learned to reverse yet? It's like there's always somebody watching you, like watching, is the bus clean? Like. So. Hey, Jeremiah, you still going to be around in 2034? Eh? You think so? When I leave this land, I want to go with a convoy of Luxliner buses. Kitted out. We're going to travel and do mega crusades. Yeah, we're all going to be older, wiser, and have this mega infrastructure. Eh? Yeah, all our teenagers. Yeah, it's going to be lekker. All our kids are going to be teens. Yeah, all of us are going to be 16 when I leave the land. Ready. Going to be this epic praise and worship leader. 16 years old. She'll just have gotten back from her training at Bethel, I guess, or Hillsong or whatever. Or both. You send your 14-year-old daughter overseas, you better believe it. I won't have her hanging out with all these locals. Small-minded, rebellious, loyal to culture and racism and all that kind of nonsense. My kid is like, she will be, I tell her, Mama, you're taking her over there for 6 months, and you take her over there for 6 months. She's going to go, Mama's going to go with you. 13 years old, out of here. I won't see Mama and Ahava for 6 months. See them on Zoom or whatever. Probably Megan go with. Yeah? There's your little teenage Megan. Yeah, nah. Donald and Megan. Little Joshy. Joshy's going to be so funny. Yes. When you guys visit us, you must ask for an appointment to chat to little Joshy. Those of you come from all over the world. Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, there's a little. Yeah, he's like a little cartoon character, little Joshy. I tell you, I cute myself almost to death when he sits at the table and he's like, and then he just randomly. I was thinking that maybe I like this food, but I don't. Maybe I like the potato. And then he's like a little bird, like. That's a cute kid. Anyway, I think I've been talking nonsense for the past 20 minutes. Hey, if you can maintain your focus, you can win. Because it's not just about, this is a good thing to end with my third ending tonight. So it's not just about the prize. Sometimes your destiny is not to be the national champion skater, but maybe the prize is somebody watching you and saying, my word, look at that commitment. And then coming to you, when you're tired and you've given up on your career, saying, listen, I've been watching you. And I've got a professional skating team that I'd love you to coach, And I'm going to pay you a nice salary, and you're going to have a house and a car, and you can live the rest of your life around skating because you love it so much. You don't know what people are watching. Renee says Josh has the most expression faces. Yes, he's cute. Little Joshy. Anyway, okay, love you all. Have a wonderful morning, evening, potato. It is my hope that you received something. God bless. Remember to partner with us if you can. www.feed14k.com. Our goal is to raise 3,000 to 5,000 rand every day. It's $300 to $500. We can help more, feed more, love more. And let toodles.